Hey everyone, so I know that today's Saturday and I did my review yesterday, but I finished my book last night and started another one this morning, just now, and it's kind of my Friday read from yesterday, so here's just a random video. I'm kind of at a different angle because my cat decided to sleep on my bed right here, so I don't really want to move him. So we're just going to deal with it. Okay, so last night I finished, oops, I don't want everything to fall. Last night I finished Burned by Ellen Hopkins. Oh, I wanted to make a video right then and there, but I needed to stop and think. Sorry guys. I need to stop and think and actually think about what I was going to say, which I kind of did. So my basically Friday read was I was going to finish this book, and I started this book, which I'm wicked excited about. And no, I did not only start reading this just because of the movie. And it is Beautiful Creatures by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. I'm only on chapter 2. I'm not far in whatsoever. Because I just started it like maybe an hour ago and didn't. I know what I should have read more than just a chapter in an hour, but I was doing other things and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm reading this, and yes, I know the movie's coming out, which is why I picked up this so I could read it before the movie. But it's like I knew about this book, and I wanted to read this way before, like long before the movie was even talked about. So don't put me on that little train of, oh, everyone's reading it because of the movie, because I'm not. Like, yes, I chose to pick up this book instead of, because I was going to read Beastly, but I chose to pick up this one instead because I wanted to read it before the movie. So, but it's not why I bought it, and it's not why I wanted to read it. So, I'm reading that, and so, I'm going to do a little review on this. First off, I've only read one other book by her, and I read Crank, and it was kind of a long time ago. So I'm going to reread it because this and Crank are the only two books that I read of hers, but I own every single one of them, probably because I have this thing that I can't start a book unless I have, if it's in a series, unless I have the whole series, which is weird that I'm reading Beautiful Creatures because I don't have the rest of the books. But I'm going to try to get out of that, because I used to do that when I was younger, that I would not read a book. If it had like a sequel or a series that was out, I had to have the whole entire series before I could read it. So I thought that this was all series, but they're not. This one, sorry, I'm looking over there because that's where my Ellen Hopkins books are. This one, Identical, and Tricks are all standalone books, and then Impulse is the first book in one of her series, and then Perfect is the second one, and then Crank, Glass, and Fallout is one of her series also. And so I decided to read one of her standalone books, and I heard this was good, so I read this one. I will say, first of all, it was a phenomenal book. It was really well. I love her writing. If you guys don't know, she writes in verse. Like, not even like traditional verse. Like, all of her like verses are like weird shapes, and I absolutely love it. She is one of my favorite authors. I know I say that about a lot of people, but I love Ellen Hopkins. She always pulls at your heartstrings and knows how to write it the right way, and I love it. But I will say that this did not stand up to Crank. Crank was a very, 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 I don't know how to put it, very, not disturbing, but like it had a lot of issues that like it dealt with and it brought up, and it was kind of like, I'm like thinking of the word, but I can't think of it. Not judgmental, controversial. There we go. Crank is very controversial. It's very, like, oh God, what, like, how did she write this and get away with it kind of thing. Kind of. Like, it's not very controversial, but it is to a point where there are some things that could be controversial. This book didn't really stand up to that. This was more of just a normal story. I didn't see anything that was very, oh my God, about it. I'm not going to say any spoilers. I really wish I could, because I cried. I, like, was on the verge of tears at the end. I am so, oh, she needs to be with Ethan. Like, you don't even know. I was on the verge of tears at the end. But it's like, oh, I'll tell you what the book is about, just in case you've not read this one, which I'm sure all of you already have. It's a girl named Patton Von Stratton. I think that's how you say her name. That's how I was saying her name. And she's a Mormon, which no, those are Amish, which I know Mormon people too, but when I lived in Indiana, there are lots of Mormons and Amish. Wait, Amish are Mormon, right? I don't know. But she's Mormon, and she gets in a little bit of trouble with a boy, and her dad says, okay, he kind of did a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You're out of here. And you're going to move with your aunt. And so she goes there, and then a whole bunch of stuff happens, and she learns a lot of things, and I'm not going to say it all because the back doesn't say a lot of things, and so I'm not going to tell everything because it is a very good book. The only thing that I didn't see happening was until the end was the end. But everything else was kind of, yeah, that's going to happen kind of thing. She did a lot of foreshadowing, which I really liked, but I don't know, it just felt very storyish. Like, it wasn't very, oh my God. But it was a very good book. I would recommend it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, Ellen Hopkins is one of my favorite authors, but this just didn't really stand up to Crank. Maybe it is good because I haven't read the rest of her books, but I'm going to try to read the rest of her books because I love her, and I just don't know why I just let them sit there on my shelf, which is the same for all my other books. But yeah, so I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved the main character, Patton. She was phenomenal. I loved how she was written. She was very, very well written, very thought-provoking, and very, well, what is she going to do now kind of person. The plot, it went quickly, but not too quickly. It was like, it went quick enough that you could keep your pace, but there was never a moment where I was like, wait, what? Or a moment, sorry, that would be my cat. And there was never, hi Maxie, there was never a moment where it was kind of like, oh my God, can we just go? Really, Max? I'm in the middle of a video. Thank you. Thank you. I thought he was going to, like, stand up and, what? He's, like, giving me the evil eye. Anyway, he's probably like, this is my bed, get off. When it's not your bed. I promise you. Anyway, sorry. But it's like, it was never like a wait, what kind of moment, or, oh my God, let's just get on with it. So, all in all, great book. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the book. Maybe we could have a discussion in the down bar. So if you have any comments, questions, anything, put them down below. And I can't wait to get talking to you. And I cannot wait to finish, or to get more into Beautiful Creatures. So yeah, I'm excited. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace!